Good evening to everyone who is able to make it. Good evening to everyone who is able to make it to our Sunday night leadership call. My name is Rosa Rodriguez, and I'm getting myself out of the way so that I can bring our amazing leader to the line. This dynamic woman person has achieved one of the top positions in our company. She has and continues to build teams around the globe, not just nationally but internationally as well. She is a phenomenal leader and is helping ordinary people like you and myself doing all these things across the globe. Correction. I would like to introduce to some and present to others the biggest and the baddest, our very own national diamond, Miss Jackie Pimpins. Miss Pimpins, were you able to make it on the line?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm out here. Thank you, Miss Rosa, for opening and hosting the call. You did such a wonderful job. So thank you so much. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead. We have an exciting call tonight. We have a lot of guests on the line tonight. They want to hear all about the taxes. So we're definitely going to go right into our topic. But before we get it started, we have a testimony on taxes. Have a young lady in this organization. She got a phenomenal tax refund back. And the individual that's speaking tonight actually had a chance to do her taxes for her. So I want to hear. I want you guys to hear from her how she feel about having a home-based business and what having a home-based business did for her. So Miss Holly Gilmore, presidential executive out of Atlanta, Georgia. Did you get a chance to make it to the line?
I am here, Miss Jackie. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you loud and clear. So take it away.
Well, thank you again, Jackie, for allowing me to tell my story. And I'm actually very excited because I've been married for 10 years, but I've been in the business for 3 years. And for the first 7 years of my marriage, my husband and I always owed the government. And once I got into the business and I started to learn more about the business and about all that I'm able to write off because of having a home-based business, each year I was able to increase how much the government actually owed me. And then last year I went to a tax seminar that Mr. Rodney Lamb spoke at, and that actually increased my knowledge even more about the benefits of having a home-based business and even more of what I can write off from my everyday life. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize that we have, as a home-based business owner, over 400 tax deductions from a home-based business that we would not otherwise get if we didn't have the home-based business. So because of my home-based business, or travel business, this year, I was able to get back from the government, and with Mr. Rodney Lamb's help and all the education that I got from that seminar, I was able to get back over $16,000 from the government because of all the tax deductions that I was able to take. And with that, I was actually able to pay my son's private school tuition in full for this year. So, Jackie, when I tell you I will never go without having a home-based business, I mean I will never go without one. And I'm just actually upset that I didn't have this knowledge sooner, and I was able to jump in, you know, a while ago. But I know now, and once you know better, you do better. So, I mean, I absolutely love having this, and I try to tell everyone about this business as much as I can. So that is all I have for you, Jackie.
Awesome. I love it. I love your testimony. So thank you so much for that. And I know your husband was skeptical about the taxes, but we were able to turn him around, correct?
Absolutely. He was hard. But once I told him how much we were going to get back, at first he just kind of looked at me and was like, okay, no way. And then I was like, yeah, and this is a professional telling. I mean, he did this, and he is happy now. He's actually making plans for next year with our tax refund. But he's excited, and he's into the business, into me doing this business. So we love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Well, awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring our special guest to the line tonight. I know you're excited. I know you guys have pen and paper, and this is recorded, so you will be able to go back and listen if you missed something. So this gentleman that I'm going to bring to the line, guys, this gentleman is hailed out of Dallas, Texas, Georgia. And when I tell you this man is awesome, he is awesome. He was able to actually turn my husband around from the person that used to do our taxes. And so he's officially doing our taxes as well. But talking about 100% fact, he knows about the tax systems and about having a home-based business. I'm going to bring him to the line. Mr. Rodney Lamb out of Dallas, Texas. Did you get a chance to make it to the line?
Jackie Pippins, I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it. How you doing this evening?
Yes, I am doing great. It was definitely great seeing you yesterday in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. You had a chance to fly down and pour into that market as well. So we definitely thank you for that, sir. But I want the listeners to know on the line, who is Rodney Lamb?
Rodney Lamb is someone who is for the people. That's the easiest way to say it, Jackie. I mean, I am about the truth. I am about business, and I am for the people. And so when you really look at the situation, I would just want to really right now, Jackie, I'm so excited because Mrs. Gilmore, her testimony got me so excited right now. And that's what it does, Jackie. I mean, it really, when you hear that truth, $16,000 on a tax refund, I want to specify that's an 8-day check, ladies and gentlemen. And so to have the opportunity to get $16,000 on an 8-day check, Jackie, I mean, that's Rodney Lamb. That's Rodney Lamb. I'm able to take information that's 100 years old and apply it to people's information right now in 2017 and allow them to get $16,000. Jackie, that testimony has me smiling so much, Jackie. I mean, that's who Rodney Lamb is.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. I have a lot of listeners on the line want to know your credentials, and are you certified? You're a tax specialist. Tell us about that, sir.
Okay, you want my credentials? Good deal. Rodney Lamb. I'm located in Dallas, Texas. That's a great thing. We've been open 14 years now. I'm actually a tax specialist. Tax resolution is my specialty. I'm a CTRS, that's a certified tax resolution specialist. And, home-based business is my specialty, Jackie. And so we want to make sure that people have the facts. And so that's what we want to give tonight. A lot of times, a lot of this information is unknown, and people don't give this information away for free. So we want to make sure that we come on the phone this evening and give this information away for free so people can understand what actually do they qualify for. Holly spoke of 400 in tax deductions that you actually qualify for. But Jackie, I'm glad to be on the phone because she probably found 400, but there's actually 500 that you qualify for. And so definitely, as a tax specialist, I want to be on the phone this evening and share this information, Jackie. I know we are planning to do it the interview style, so let's definitely make sure that the people have some good information so they can take advantage of it and have a great testimony like Holly.
Absolutely. The first question is, why should I have a home-based business?
In my opinion, Jackie, home-based business is the equalizer to today's economy. You see, as an employee, 80% of our country, Jackie, that's 400 million people. 400 million people are not 400 million. At least 80% of that 400 million are employees. And so when you think about that, Jackie, the home-based business owner or the business owner, we have advantages, over 500 deductions that are allowed in today's tax structure for deductions. And, when you think about that, Jackie, this is people's everyday life. These are things that you do every day anyway. So why not make those tax deductible? When we think about it, I ask people all the time, if you owe money and you have an opportunity to write it off, why wouldn't you? One of my favorite statements, Jackie, is that everyone qualifies for these business deductions. These laws are written for us. And if you're not taking advantage of the law that's written for you, then it's you that's breaking the law. And so you have to think about it. The average person, even with 500 deductions available to you, you have to think about it, Jackie, everything in your life, except for when you're spending on someone 17 and under, It's tax deductible in the name of business. I mean, anything you can think of, we can write it off. And that's why I love particularly travel. That's why I love to do it with travel agencies, because your market is the world. Anywhere you go in the world is tax deductible in the name of business. And that just makes sense, Jackie Pippins. Everything that you do, every dollar that you earn, you have an opportunity to recoup and keep a percentage of that. And to me, Jackie, I share with anybody why a home-based business, because a home-based business allows you to keep more of your money. You see, that's what people don't understand. Anyone can earn in this country, but who keeps the most? That's the real winner. That's why a home-based business, Jackie Pippins. And now I truly believe that it particularly needs to be in the world of travel. And the reason being because it allows you, the American citizen, to take their deductions and their business beyond American land. And so that's a great opportunity for American citizens to go anywhere in the world and be able to write it off in the name of business. It's a real equalizer. And so I just really believe as the American citizen, if you have a W-2 paying job, then you need a home-based business, but because it allows you to keep more of your money. That's why, Jackie.
I love it. I love that. What is the difference between a traditional business versus a home-based business, and can I have both, and which benefits me the most?
Well, when you look at it, Jackie, unfortunately, I'm a traditional business owner as well as a home-based business owner. You know, I share that with a lot of my clients as well as people going forward that I speak to. I let them know that as a traditional owner, Jackie, the expenses are different. You know, to run my tax firm, I mean, we talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. To run your travel agency, we talking less than $100. And so the expenses associated with a home-based business are much less than a traditional business. However, the expenses that you qualify for a deduction are 100% equal. And so the home-based business owner gets the exact same tax benefits as a traditional business owner, yet and still you don't have the expense load that you have as a traditional business owner. I mean, you really get to write your entire life. You know, as a tax firm owner, anywhere I go, if I go to Jamaica, Jackie, I don't get a deduction. I have no business. I cannot do taxes in Jamaica. However, as a travel agent, that is my job. It is my job to go to Jamaica and tell you what the weather is. And so who doesn't want a job or a job description that allows you to write such activities off? And so as a traditional business owner, I would say the deductions are equal. However, the expenses are totally separate. I mean, the investment alone, I mean, it costs much more to run a traditional business. And we all understand with technology being where it is, brick and mortar is going away. And so it gives a regular citizen an opportunity to get the benefits of traditional business and not the expenses of traditional business. And that's the difference, Jackie. When you have employees, you don't have to worry about employees. You don't have to worry about rent. You don't have to worry about a lot of things, Jackie, that normal traditional business owners have to worry about. And when you look at home-based business, when you get the benefits of it, regardless, it just makes sense, Jackie. It makes a lot of business sense. And that's what we want to stress to the people. That's the difference of traditional and home-based business. In my opinion, it's the expenses associated, the investment, and how much money you actually spend. It allows you to recoup your entire life in the name of business, yet and still not spend thousands in order to do it. And so that's why I definitely suggest home-based business over a traditional business because, I mean, if your goal is to form a traditional business, then you'll have those plans in order. And so I suggest a home-based business to anyone listening to this call because it doesn't require all of that. It doesn't require all of that. It requires a small investment that allows you to recoup your entire life in the name of business. That's why, Jackie, that's why I suggest a home-based business.
I absolutely love it. I have another question that someone texted me before I go to the next question, but have him explain the difference between an accounting and a tax specialist.
Well, you know, an accountant deals with bookkeeping. And, you know, bookkeeping is the last line of your company. I always tell every client of mine that without bookkeeping, there is no business. You know, the IRS, Jackie, you know, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to you. They just want to see the proof. And bookkeeping is always the proof. And, you know, when you deal with an accountant, they help you get the proof. And I love to stress the fact of a CPA. People need to understand that a CPA is a certified public accountant. They help you with your bookkeeping. They help you with your expenses. They don't necessarily have tax advantages or tax knowledge. If you find a CPA with tax knowledge, that is a great CPA. But I want you to understand that most CPAs don't have full tax knowledge. One part of that test is taxation. And so as long as they pass that one part, then they qualify for taxation. CPAs can do your taxes, but they're not tax specialists. And so, you know, their goal is to help you with your bookkeeping, help you with what you qualify for. That's the goal of a CPA, to help you get that proof when we need to prove to the IRS. But as far as the advantages, as far as the laws involved, that's what a tax specialist does. We go into the specifics of the tax law. You know, all of my tests is tax law. You know, one portion of a CPA's test is tax law. And so we tell people, individuals, that a CPA can do your tax, but they're not tax specialists. Now, a tax specialist, of course, everything is taxes, Jackie. Everything is tax law. Everything is taxes. We deal with nothing but the facts. I mean, not 4 months, but 365 days of the year we're open and dealing with taxes. That's the difference in the tax specialist. You don't have too many, Jackie. I mean, honestly, there's only one title, CTRS. And that specialty is actually in representation when people get audits. And so, you know, CPAs are great. I have no problem. CPAs are necessary. If you have an accountant, keep them. They will help you get your books in order, get your proof in order, get your expenses in order. But everyone, in my opinion, needs a tax specialist, someone who focuses on taxes 365 days out the year, who knows the taxes, who's up with the law as it changes. You know, one thing I stress to the people, that tax structure is a living document. It's just like the Constitution. It grows. It changes year after year. And so if you don't have a tax specialist who's changing with the industry, then guess what? You're going to be stuck with 1980 taxes. You're going to be stuck with an accountant who's changing with the accounting industry, but not changing with the tax industry. And so that's the difference, Jackie, of accountant and a tax professional.
Awesome. Thank you. I've been with the business a couple of years, and the tax person that did my taxes didn't give me many write-offs. How important is it to choose the right person to do your taxes? And before you answer that, Mr. Lamb, you can explain the difference that you found in our tax refund.
Well, when you look at it, you have to think about it. You know, every taxes is an individual thing. Everybody's individual tax situation is different. You know, testimonies are great, but just like Mrs. Gilmore testimony, everybody doesn't have the tax situation that she had. You know, her and her husband has a beautiful tax situation. They just hadn't had the right advice. And the same with yours. As the money, you know, with yours, the money has continued to increase. And so one thing that I advise clients, and I always tell clients, that they have to consider what's the future. You know, with one thing, the best tax professional or tax specialist is the one that can actually talk to the client, intertwine with the client, and grow with the client. And see, that's what you have to do. And, you know, when you look at the situation as far as amendment is what you're talking about. We're allowed, like Jackie, by law, to go back 3 years in pursuit of profit. I mean, you can go back 3 years just to see if they made a mistake. You know, on the phone, before we begin, I want to give everyone on this call an opportunity to go back and check your taxes. Check them for me and see if you left money on the table. When you look on page 2 of your 1040, line 43, it says taxable income. I want you to see how much money is left on the table. The average American citizen leaves $30,000 on the table. And we want you to understand that's your money. That's your money. All you have to do is get it back. You know, 2014, we're allowed to go up to October 16th, 2017. And so if you have a 2014 tax, go back and look on line 43. And if you self-prepare, Look on page 2, line 27. Line 27 is your taxable income for TurboTax and self-prepares. We want you to look at that. We want you to look at that line, and don't think I'm clairvoyant, but the average American leaves $30,000 on the table. And when you look at it, $30,000 is yours. You know, Jackie, that's what we want them to do. We want them to go back and get what's there. That's not the IRS money, and the IRS is not going to tell you. Most people don't realize when the IRS owes you money, Jackie, they won't send you one letter. They won't send you one letter. You have to call them. But if you owe them, they're going to terrorize you in the mail. And so this is why we stress going and check that line and make sure that you didn't leave any money on the table. Because you leave money on the table, that's yours. We want to teach you how to legally get that back. Now, if we have 3 years, that's 2014, 15, and 16, to go check page 2, line 43 of taxable income, 27 if you do TurboTax. And so we want you to go check those lines to see how much you left on the table. And if you have money left on the table, definitely we want to show you how to go back and attain that. And we can go back to 3 years, Jackie. And so that person asking that question, we can definitely go get your money. That's the beautiful thing about the IRS. They allow you to go get your money for certain time limits. And so, you know, I truly believe, Jackie, that people can only rise as their information. People are only product of their information. And so we want people to know the truth so that they can go get what's theirs. You know, the good thing about this, Jackie, is this is not my opinion. 105 years, these laws have been intact, and we want people to know them today.
Wow, I love it. I keep getting a lot of questions. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my questions answered, but okay, here's another one. Is there still an advantage if you don't have a corporate job / W-2 and just your home-based business?
We always tell everyone there's an advantage. And when in this country there's a 60-40 split, there's a 60-35 split right now for all business owners. Business owners have an opportunity, Jackie, to retain all of their money in deductions, but you don't realize that every dollar that you earn, 35% of that is owed to the IRS. And so your dollar is a dollar, when in actuality it's 65 cents. And so we teach the American citizen that no matter what, whether you have a W-2 paying job or whether you're 100% self-employed, you need a home-based business so that you can retain and keep more of your money. For the person who doesn't have a W-2 paying job, I advise them definitely to stay active, to stay recording all of your expenses, to stay keeping up with your mileage, because that individual has an opportunity to keep all of their money, Jackie. And so I would tell that person, yes, despite having a W-2 paying job, a home-based business is definitely necessary because it allows you to keep more of your money. And especially the retired individual. We may get there later. A lot of retired individuals with salary caps or spending caps or how much they can earn caps, they always ask me, well, Rodney, what if I can't earn anymore? What do I do then? Well, we're not recording a profit. We're recording a loss in the first few years. And so I always let them know that a loss is legal. As long as you're not profiting, then you can legally take a loss. And, Jackie, when our expenses supersede our profit, that's just a loss in the business world. And so anyone is legally entitled to a loss, especially up in the first 3 to 5 years. And so we teach people with or without W-2 paying jobs that they definitely need a home-based business, especially the retired individual, because despite you being retired, you still owe tax. And so we want them to know how to keep their money from all tax structures and tax charges in this country.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, the business that we're in, Tavares Global, for the guest on the line, it's $174.95 to get started. There's a monthly fee of $79.95. And Mr. Rodney Lamb, the best part of the business to me is the $79.95. But most people don't understand the overhead to run a business. Can you explain to them how important that $79.95 is each and every month?
You know what's funny, Jackie, because I'm not the only traditional business owner on this line, and I'm sure. And if every traditional business owner on this line had a $79 expense for the month to keep their business open, they would smile. You don't realize, as a home-based business owner, the advantage you have to have less than $100 in expenses to keep a company legally alive and available for you to write off your entire life, Jackie. That just makes sense. It makes business sense. It makes perfect sense. It makes common sense. And we teach people that, $79, 80 times 12, Jackie, what is that? That's not even $1,000 a year. Here you have an advantage. You just heard Mrs. Gilmore's testimony. She has a $16,000 tax refund and didn't even pay $1,000 a year to receive that. Well, to qualify to receive that. And, here's an opportunity. I always tell people, Jackie, if I had $6,000 in my hand and if I put it in front of you and said, give me $1,000 and I will give you this $6,000, would you do it? No one would tell me no, because that's a $5,000 profit. That's exactly what I'm saying, Jackie. Before you sell anything in travel, before you sell anything that Paycation sells, you're going to receive tax advantages that make that investment automatic profit. And we tell people all the time, when you go in business, it's not about emotion. It's not about friends. It's about ROI, return on investment. And we teach people, if you're a business owner and you're looking for a return on investment, I don't know one business, Jackie, that allows you to invest $179 a month for the full year is less than $1,000. For less than $1,000, Jackie, you're allowed to receive a $16,000 refund. I know the Gilmores are smiling because an investment like that allowed them to keep more of their money, allowed them to put their son, their children, further in the future. This is what we want for every American citizen. This is what the home-based business owner needs to understand that we have. And so everybody that's paying taxes anyway, Jackie, because you have to pay them, anybody that's paying taxes needs to be a home-based business owner, but because it allows you to keep more of your money. It just makes sense. You're going to give 40% away anyway, so you should keep it, especially if you're a W-2 paying a worker. You have no opportunity. They take the money before you even get paid. And so how do you get that back? You see, anybody can earn, but who keeps the most? And so that's what we're teaching, Jackie. We're teaching with this call and several people and the Gilmores and yourself. So many people learn that anybody can earn in this country, but who keeps the most, that's the real winner. And so, whether you're W-2, whether you're retired, whether you are self-employed, it doesn't matter. Your goal is to keep up with good records so that you can keep more of your money. That's the answer to that question, Jackie.
Awesome. I love it. There are some listeners on the line that is not involved in Paycation, in Traveris Global right now. What is their benefit to them getting started with it being today, October the 1st? There's only 2 months left in this year. Is there any benefits to them getting started today, tonight?
Well, actually, we're going to count October since it's the 1st. So it's 3 months left, 90 days, Jackie. And the beautiful part about taxes is that it allows you to go, home-based business specifically, allows you to go back 6 months in pursuit of profit. So though it's October, Jackie, we're able to go 6 months back to March. And so the listener who has not signed up yet or hasn't become a home-based business owner, I definitely advise this to you. And this is why. You're going to get advantages, tax advantages, that go all the way back to March. You see, 6 months in pursuit of profit is what the law allows. 6 months in pursuit of profit for expenses that are associated with your business. And, Jackie, I just explained to you that travel is your market is the world. And so when individuals think about it, some of these individuals on the phone this evening, Jackie, who haven't signed up yet, took a vacation this summer. They went somewhere this summer that qualifies for what we call a site inspection. You see, we're going to check out the hotel. We're going to check out the vacation. As a travel agent, we have to get the experience so we can refer it to others. And so when we teach people that experience that they had this summer, that vacation that they thought they went was actually a job expense, those miles, that gas, there's so many deductions that they've incurred, Jackie. before October 1st that allows them to keep more of their money. And so if you haven't started tonight, I want to highly encourage you as a financial specialist to get involved tonight, because we're going to go back to March and get expenses that you weren't even involved in this company yet. And that itself is the reason why. For less than $200, Jackie, to go back 6 months, that makes sense in itself. And so I want everyone on the line tonight to think about what you did in the last 6 months, and you tell me, would a $200 investment be worth it to go back and write that entire 6 months off? And, of course, everything going forward, Jackie, we want to make sure that people understand we have normal operating costs. And so everything going forward will be tax deductible as well. And so you get 9 months of tax benefits if anybody sign up today, Jackie. That's the benefit for the home-based business owner who has not yet started today.
Awesome. I love it. What about medical and dental expenses?
I always stress to clients that medical and dental is personal. Most people don't realize that. That's a personal expense, and it's dealing with you, the individual. And most of the time when you deal with your hospital, you deal with your Social Security number and your name. And so what we've been teaching people, Jackie, is to get group insurance in the name of the company. You know, that's the great way to do it. Now, I will say to all of those individuals on the phone this evening who have medical and dental insurance and deductions, you get those on the Schedule A. You do qualify for those. They will be allowed, and you get those on the Schedule A. But a Schedule A is like 3% of your money, Jackie, and the Schedule C is like 60% of your money. Just like I asked them yesterday, what's better, 3 or 60? Why not both if you qualify for both? And so instead of just getting 3%, Jackie, for the medical and deduction, and that's a small percentage, 7.5% of your HEI has to be spent before you can even add $1. And so, but if you were able to get a business, able to get an EIN, which is free, and go ahead and get medical insurance in the company name, group insurance in the company name, it's 100% tax deductible, Jack. And we teach people that with the group insurance, you get everything, and I can write it off. And so not to say, you know, that you lose as a business owner with the medical and dental, but you get more when you get it in the company's name, not the individual's name. But for the individual who already has it, who's already going and now started business, we definitely want you to know you do qualify for that. You will get that, but you're only going to get 3%. And so we encourage everybody to go out and get insurance in your company's name, not yours. And now I can go get 100%. 100% is much better than 3%. But my wife, as an accountant, she'll tell you, Jackie, anything beats a blank. And so if you have the 3%, you have medical, you have dental anyway, responsible, let's make sure that we get advantage of that. And that is a deduction. But again, Rodney is so for 63% instead of 3%. So I encourage you, if you're a business owner, to go out and get group insurance in the company's name, in the company's EIN, so that I can write 100% of that off instead of just 3%, Jackie.
Oh, absolutely love it. What about my vehicle and the repairs on my vehicle and mileage, gas?
All of that. Most business owners don't even know. You know, when you go to the tax pro, they'll tell you, you either need to give me miles or gas, one of the two. But a lot not realizing that business requires both. Domino's, Enterprise, some of these companies, Lyft, Uber, they're not getting just gas or miles. They get both of them. So you as a travel agent qualify for both of them. You know, we teach people all the time, that's not your car once you go into business. That becomes a company vehicle. And so the best thing for you to do as a business owner is get you some of those signs that they put on the side of the car. You know, most professionals, they tell you to wrap your car. Rodney doesn't recommend wrapping. All I ask you to do is get those magnets. If you get those magnets, you can order them from Vistaprint or someone that makes them. They'll be at your home in 2 weeks. That now turns your car note into a company deduction. So you multiply your car note times 12, Jackie. You add it up for the year, and that now becomes a company expense. That just makes sense. A portion of that car note is tax deductible in the name of business because that's not your car anymore. It's now an advertising expense, and it's a company vehicle. And so now the gas, the mileage, the tolls, the parking, everything associated with that vehicle, including the maintenance, is now tax deductible in the name of business. So it just makes sense. And again, a vehicle is just one deduction. But I share with everyone, Jackie, when you add your miles up for the year, it could easily change your refund by $3,000 by itself, just the mileage. And most people don't realize that. And so I stress. But one thing I will say, the IRS requires documentation on that, Jackie. And so I really stress to people that you need to keep a good mileage log. You need to get an app that tracks your mileage so you can have proof and documentation of your mileage and get everything that's yours. That mileage, that vehicle, it changes refund by thousands, Jackie. And so we teach people how to keep good records of the vehicle. But, you know, a lot of this requires discipline. I don't expect you to know it today. Business is an evolution. It requires growth. And so you will grow into these deductions. You will grow into the discipline of keeping up with these deductions. And so that's why we stress that.
Awesome. I love it. If there are some listeners on this line that owe the IRS right now, how can this home-based business help me? If I got started today, how could it help me owing the IRS?
Man, that's a beautiful question. And I'm the best person to answer that question because tax resolution is my specialty. That's what I actually have letters behind my name for. I'm a certified tax resolution specialist. And so the letters behind my name is when you get the letters from the IRS, when you get audits, when people get in trouble. Tax professionals don't actually handle that. And, you know, most people get audited, Jackie. When they look for their tax pro, when they receive the letter, they can't find them. They have to go hire somebody else to deal with it. Or their tax pro isn't qualified to deal with the IRS. And so most people don't have the necessary knowledge to even deal with the IRS. And, you know, it's probably some people on this phone who had a bad situation with the IRS. But as a resolution specialist, I'm able to tell you, Jackie, the person in debt needs this more than the person not in debt. Because I stress, when the IRS gives you a fee that you owe, they have an algorithm that produces a number so extreme that the American citizen is almost guaranteed to 5 years of debt every time you get a letter. And so we teach people, Jackie, how to come back and get that. This person who is already in debt with IRS, this is going to allow you to take a number to pay a number. This is what I always share with people. They created this number with this algorithm. So what we're going to do is take legal deductions that they allow us and create a number as well. And we're going to take that number to pay their number, Jackie. And so and all of this is legal. And people don't understand this. And no one's on the phone teaching them. The actual tax resolution specialists, we charge thousands of dollars to have this conversation. We just want to make sure that people know tonight. And this is what Truth Induced is doing tonight. And most people, especially if you owe the IRS, you need to give me a call outside of this call. Because this call is about home-based business. But if you owe the IRS, that's a different situation, Jackie. And home-based business is necessary, especially to anybody that owes the IRS. That's the key to not owing the IRS. If you really want to know, that's the key to not owing. If anybody owes the IRS on this call this evening, I encourage you to give me a call tomorrow so I can teach you how not to owe the IRS by becoming a home-based business owner. And that's just that simple. A less than $200 investment, and I do stress this. I don't care what your amount you owe. I hope it's over $10,000 because I'm going to show you how this business is going to take that debt to zero in a matter of months. And so definitely, Jackie, if anybody owes, they need to give me a call outside of this call because home-based business is definitely going to be the solution, the key. But there are some things that they need to learn. There are some activities that they need to learn about the IRS law so that we can show that individual who owes how to do it going forward. And that's what's key, Jackie. We want to make sure that this knowledge and this information is passed on generation to generation to generation. It's been too long of us not knowing this knowledge. And so we want to make sure that every generation going forward knows this. And so we want to make this a habit, Jackie. We want to make this a habit so people understand that these laws have been written 105 years. We just haven't been taking advantage of them. So I encourage the person who owes to give me a call and definitely show you that you need this. This will move a debt that you currently have. And we have to file in 3 months. And so we definitely have a strategy. I love it when it's close to the end of the year, Jackie, because people have an advantage to take advantage, especially the 6-month window. Here's an individual. Let's say you owe $3,000, Jack, and you come in today. Here you have an opportunity to get 9 months of tax advantage. Those 9 months of tax advantage can move your entire debt. And so you have an individual who owed $3,000 or $5,000 now receiving $1,800 back from the IRS and covering the debt in total. This is just testimonies of people who've done this countless over the years. And so I encourage anybody who owes the IRS, give me a call tomorrow and let's discuss the strategy. What's your tax strategy to remove that debt? And that's what we're going to do. I encourage and I suggest home-based business, particularly in travel. Back to you, Jackie.
Awesome. We did just get a text that someone owed $26,000 back due to some interest, and so they definitely need to speak with you immediately. Awesome. Okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, here's my next question. Let's talk about children. Hiring my children for my home-based business. I was told I can hire my children. Is that a true fact?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It actually is. Most people don't realize that. You know, I'm a parent myself, and, you know, a business owner, traditional and home-based, you know, it's a great thing to have that advantage. $6,300 per child, Jack. You know, I walked up to a mother, and I told her, you know, you have a $25,000 deduction for your babies? She said, how? I told her $200. You don't realize, Jack, that ages 7 through 17 qualify for $6,300 per child, tax-free. And so here's the parent who made a decision to have a child 7 years ago, Jackie. Can I show you how to get paid for a decision that you made 7 years ago? That makes sense. And, you know, my oldest, she's actually past the 17-year mark now. And so we went ahead and hired her. And, you know, that's the beautiful thing about home-based business. When they pass the age of 17, just hire them. Just go ahead and hire them fully. You don't want them to go into the W-2 employment. Wouldn't it be nice that your child just work for themselves once they become of age? That's a beautiful tradition. That's something that we want to start for every single family in this country. You know, being a testimony myself, when I hear that question, I love that question because I have 2 children. And to be able to have them answer my phone, structure my cards, send out emails, those little bitty things, teaching my children business, Jackie, I'm allowed to get a deduction for that. And so here's this, I don't know, a year, a generation in time that where the parent get paid to parent as long as you're in business. You see, that's just one more advantage that home-based business offers the parent. You get an opportunity to get paid for your children doing their chores, Jackie. And so that just makes sense. You know, I hire my kids. You know, in my home, your home now becomes your corporate headquarters. And at your corporate headquarters, you need a janitor. You need someone to clean. So if you just create a contract of that chores, Jackie, sign that, pay them $6,300, agree to pay them $6,300, your children have an advantage of getting paid for their chores. Now, we already give them allowance. That's what most people call it, allowance. We call it payroll now. Once you become a home-based business owner, allowances become payroll. And when you get to keep $6,300 per child, Jackie, it makes your parents smile that much more. And so just for that alone, if you're a parent on this phone this evening, $200 to write off $6,300 for a child that you're going to spend on anyway makes sense. Because we as parents have to buy the uniforms, we have to buy the meals, we have to pay for the lessons and activities. Doesn't it make sense, Jackie, to teach financial responsibility at one time and at the same time keep more of your money? Because instead of paying for her meal, I give my daughters money so they pay for their own meals. Instead of paying for the uniforms, I pay them, Jackie, and they buy their own uniforms. Instead of paying for her lessons and activities, my daughter's karate, I make sure I pay her and she pays for her own karate. So not only am I teaching financial responsibility, but I'm also keeping more of my money as a parent, especially things we have to spend anyway. And so it just makes sense, Jackie. I encourage every parent, if you have children, you need to be a home-based business owner. You need to hire them, and you need to make sure that you keep it more of your money.
Awesome. I love it. Let's clear the age up because I just got a text on the age. That's at the age of 7, they can get started in your home-based business up until the age of 17, correct?
Well, the age is contract labor. They're going to be a contractor for you so that individual understands they're not getting started in your business. They're going to be contract labor. And so 7 through 17, yes, ma'am. At 17, and we want you to understand that payroll is not expected of 7 through 17. So you're going to get a 1099 that you pay $6,300 per child. And the child is going to clear that up, Jackie. They don't have to turn in the 1099 because they don't have no taxes due. But you, the parent, have an opportunity to take that expense and take that to the tax preparer, and now you get that deduction. So 7 through 17, they have an opportunity to start at 7 and get 1099s all the way up to 17. And then at 18, I encourage every business owner to go ahead and hire your child fully. Or like I was sharing yesterday, Jackie, go ahead and get them involved. You see, so many of us business owners say, I wish I knew that at 18. But here's an opportunity for your child at 18 to have this opportunity. And so once they turn 18, Jackie, we just sign our children up and get them involved in the same business that we're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you. What about church tithes and offering? Can those be a write-off? And if so, how much?
They've always been that. They've always been that. Church tithes and offerings always been a deduction for 105 years, I know. And you have to claim that on the Schedule A. You know, when it comes to those deductions, people have to really be charitable, Jackie. I tell you, you have to really have a good heart. You know, if you want your home church to grow, then you give. If you give to a charity, then you give. Everyone has a nonprofit or a mission that they push, and they want to support that, and they want it to grow further. And so you get that on the Schedule A, Jackie. That's that 3% again. And so there's nothing we can really do in the name of business to increase that because that's where we have to claim that deduction. The only thing you can really do as a business owner is to give to more charity. You know, Rodney is a firm advocate of, retaining those expenses yourself. Instead of giving gifts, how about we give marketing and promotional items, Jackie? Because they are 100% tax deductible. When, as far as charity, we only get a percentage of your charity back. And so I'm not saying charity is wrong. But what I'm saying, when you give marketing and promotional items, there are more and more tax advantages involved. And so we definitely want people to understand that and know that. Not saying never stop tithing. Your church needs that support. But if you want to really keep more of your money, then you need to get marketing and promotional items, not charity items. Because charity is only that 3%, Jack, and I can't switch it over. Now, you can give it as an individual, and you can give it as a business. And, we can double that charity. But we're going to keep more money once we get off that Schedule A. And, I like to keep the deductions on the Schedule C as business deductions. And so when it comes to charity, it's a lot of times dealing with the individual. And so I will say this as a professional to anyone giving charity. Give charity from your company this year, not from you. And if you do that, we can recoup and keep much more.
Awesome. Well, that brings me to the Christmas gift questions. Am I able to write off my Christmas gift? And then I have another question from a text. So here's the next question. Christmas gifts, are they write-off?
Well, what you have to look at, Jackie, and when you deal with the IRS, it's olive verbiage. I teach people all the time. We have to teach you to retrain your mind when you go in business and how to speak. It's not a Christmas gift. We, as employees and American citizens, that's the traditions that we are taught. And so we put Christmas gifts. We be charitable around Christmas time. But when we see business owners or philanthropists, we call them, when they're charitable, it's something different. What's different about theirs? The difference is, Jackie, The philanthropists get to keep their money, and you, the charitable person, just get to be charitable. And so we want you to be both. We want you to be philanthropic and charitable, but at the same time, keep your money, because that just makes more sense. If you take your name off that gift, Jackie, and put your business card on that gift, that's not from Jackie. That's from your business. And now your business has just given a marketing and promotional item, and now your Christmas is now tax deductible in the name of business. Because we want you to understand, anybody over the age of 17 is a potential client. But anybody under the age of 17, Jackie, you cannot market your business to. And so you can't write that off. You really have to be charitable. And so we tell everyone, anybody under the age of 17, that's from Rodney. But if you're 18 or older, that's from Truth Induced. And so we make sure we spend out the separate accounts. When it comes to Rodney, I spend on my personal account for anyone 17 and under, because I know I can't write that off, Jackie. I know I'm just being charitable. But if you're 18 or older, I'm marketing and prospecting to you, just like Oprah. And so I want to make sure that I get you a business as well. So Oprah gives 200 houses away. I don't give that much away, Jackie, but we're going to make sure we give something away so that we can keep more of our money as well. And so I advise every business owner to do the Oprah thing, become philanthropic in December, and next month, the following month, in January, you're going to receive tax advantages you didn't even know. You didn't even know. Most of the time, we are traditional and we indulge in Christmas, but we don't think about the tax advantages that these business owners are receiving. And the first time you get to write your Christmas off, Jackie, it's a different feeling. Christmas becomes a different, you really get excited. And so we want people to understand that these are laws that have been written. This is not my opinion. Truth needs no defense. And so I encourage, and I actually ask everybody to go verify this information. Go verify this. Don't believe Rodney Lamb. Look on irs.gov and make sure everything that I'm saying on this call is true and correct. And, you know, had it been a year or two ago, Jackie, I tell people all the time, you know, this is over 14 years of knowledge now. We've been applying these strategies for 14 years. This is not 1 or 2 years. And so I share this with people. 1 or 2 years I'd have been saying, hey, I think I found something, everyone. But after 14 years, I know what I know. I know what I know. People are not getting in trouble. These are laws that have been written for years, Jackie. We just haven't been taking advantage of them. And so I appreciate you for putting calls like this together so that we can get this message out. But Christmas is just like any other business deduction. If you're 18 or older, it should be from the company, not from you.
Awesome. I have one last question, and then after that question, you can tell the listeners on the line how to reach you. And the question was asked if they're out of state, how they can reach you as well. So here's the last question. What if you do your own taxes yourself? How do you add that on the taxes? In other words, where do you go on TurboTaxes to add that?
You see that question, Jackie? That's a beautiful question. You know why I say I don't teach people how to avoid me, Jackie. And I will say that to that person that asked that question. I don't teach self-preparers how to avoid me. My solution and my suggestion to you is to get with a professional. Don't attempt to do this by yourself. This is an industry that requires study. If you haven't been studying for decades in tax structure and tax knowledge, I don't advise you. And I don't teach people how to avoid me. And so most people say, you know, how do I do that, Rodney? You know, I can tell you all of this information, Jackie, but you have to come to Rodney. And so for that individual, I sincerely say you need to bring your information to us. Go ahead and let a professional prepare your taxes. I don't promote or suggest self-preparation because this industry is becoming too hard. And a lot of people, and I want you to understand when I say that, Jackie, a lot of people don't realize that they are victims. H&R Block and Intuit, which is QuickBooks and all of them, they are launching a campaign of people so people can get involved and mess their taxes up. The self-preparer is furthering the IRS's goal because you're going to find these deductions and you get on calls like this and you ask a question like that, well, how do I do all of that? Well, you give me a call, and we're going to make sure we do that for you. You don't do it yourself. This is not one of those things that you can self-prepare, Jackie. This is years of tax knowledge that I've learned. I went to school for, and, we got certifications in. And if you haven't done that, why are you doing it? It's just that simple. Just like a doctor, you don't try to self-medicate yourself. Just like a lawyer, you don't try to represent yourself in court. I don't suggest that anyone represent themselves before the IRS. I suggest that you get it with the professional and let the professional represent you. And fees are involved. And so the beautiful thing about it, Jackie, is the fees come out of your refund. So many people act like they're paying. The fees come out of your refund. So you have an opportunity to have a professional, not you, own your taxes and not have to pay a penny out of pocket. That just makes sense, Jackie. And so for that individual, give me a call. I don't teach people how to avoid me. And for anyone out of state that needs to get with us, we definitely want you to understand that brick and mortar is going away for taxes too. My industry, we were not able to avoid it. Brick and mortar is going away. People are going online. Companies are, this company has created a drag and drop, just like H&R Block. We bought that software. And so no matter where you are, Jackie, all 50 states, Alaska and Hawaii, no matter where you are, all you have to do is upload into an encrypted software that allows your identity to be protected. And then, this is why these laws were passed. Identity theft was the largest ever in the IRS history last year. So they passed a whole bunch of new laws. And, most tax professionals aren't informing people. You have to watch TV, and you see these H&R Block commercials and Liberty, and they have all this new software. This because laws are passing. And so we bought the same software. It's just very expensive. We bought it, but it's for the client. It's for the client's protection and an identity protection of the client. But whether you're in Alaska, Hawaii, Jackie, all you have to do is upload. It's real simple. You upload behind encrypted security. I get it on my end. I prepare it on my end. I call the client no matter where they are. We go over the file. We go over the fees. And everything gets back to them in the business count that they choose in 8 to 10 business days, Jackie. I mean, it brick and mortar. Your local tax office, it doesn't matter anymore. Taxes is another industry where technology and the Internet has allowed us to touch all over the world. Unfortunately, my industry, we can only do America. We're not travel agents. Our market is not the world. And so I can only do America. But Alaska, Hawaii, wherever you are, we allow to upload. If you have a computer, if you have access to Internet or Wi-Fi, no matter where you are, you can upload. And so we want people to understand that it doesn't matter anymore. It's not about who you go to or how fast you get your refund. It's about how much you get. The American citizen is more conscious nowadays. The economy is ugly right now. And so it's so important to keep more of your money. These laws have been around 105 years, Jackie. I keep stressing that because if you're not taking advantage of the laws that's written for you, then you're breaking the law. And these people just don't realize that's what's happening. And so I commend you and I applaud you for putting calls like this together so people can really hear the truth of the matter when it relates to taxes. And so we definitely want people to understand that. And thank you again, Jackie, for doing that.
Well, awesome. Great job. I mean, just text is just going all across my phone about these tax advantages. We so thank you so much, Mr. Lamb, for informing us. I know that each individual is more informed than ever before. We definitely look forward to having you back on the call, definitely before the year is out because tax season is coming up. So we're all excited about that. Thank you your lovely wife for letting us borrow you this hour. We definitely appreciate her. Thank you again for coming out to Cleveland, Ohio on yesterday. So, again, the time has been spent. Great call. So many texts about how this was a great call. So, everybody, have a great evening, and this call is recorded so you can get the playback just in case you miss it or someone else needs to hear this information. Everyone have a great week. We'll see you all next week, same time, same place. Thank you.
Yeah.